Hi, I'm Todd, the founder of Freak Endurance. I want to share some exciting news from our research program. This summer, we completed a clinical study at the University of San Diego using our Fuel Endurance Capsules. We demonstrated over 2 weeks of daily supplementation, significant improvements in energy capacity, as well as measures of resilience at the cellular level. I'll get into some more of the detail, but we were looking specifically at what would happen to mitochondria before and after supplementation. Mitochondria, if you don't remember your freshman biology class, are the subcellular organelles, these structures inside all of our cells, including muscle cells, that power exercise, that power life. They convert the body's stored energy resources into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is what the cells use to power everything we do. We looked at three key measures of mitochondrial function and energetics. The first is basal respiration. Basal respiration increased significantly by an average of 24% after 2 weeks of grit fuel supplementation. This is important because it's a measure of how active your cells are at rest. When we're just hanging out, we're relying on primarily aerobic metabolism, which is very, very efficient. And the more efficient we are aerobically, the longer we can go, the more output we can generate as we start to move and increase heart rate before we start relying on other sources of energy, namely carbohydrates and anaerobic respiration, which has diminishing energy returns relative to aerobic. So that translates directly to aerobic efficiency and endurance. The second key metric that we looked at in our study is ATP production. So more ATP corresponds with basically just more power, more available energy to power exercise. And that went up on average 23% across our study participants. And finally, and I think most significantly, the third measure we looked at is reserve capacity of mitochondria. This is how effective your cells are at generating excess energy when stressed. So think about the big hill, the final push when you're racing, or just hitting one of your VO2 max workouts where you're really stressing yourself to get those exercise adaptations during a progressive workload cycle. Reserve capacity went up an average of 65% among responders. Now, that means people who had a positive response to supplementation. In our case, we had very, very high efficacy. So 2/3 of respondents improved on this measure. And within that group, the average improvement was 65% after just 2 weeks of supplementation. And the last thing I need to say is I am not a physician. Consult your doctor if you have questions about any supplement that you want to take. And these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and we are not claiming to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. I hope you try it. Let's go work out.